We got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone. Inside of our embassy. Everything we need's right here. Make me sing along. Sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything, moonlight on your naked skin. Summer's blind us to giving. Where you wanna go? Where you wanna go? Stars align onto your face. Pretty sweet, your sour taste. Make me sing along, sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything, sharing all your deepest dreams, wonder what they really mean, yeah. In the empty bottle lies all the answers. Write down all your memories, feel the things you wanna feel, yeah. In the empty bottle lies all the answers. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got everything,
Hello, everyone. Again, I am so sorry. Please just put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Oh, today is some kind of day. Jesus help us. Jesus help us. Just let me know that you can hear me before we get started, please. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Really been having a lot of issues today. Thank you so much for joining again. If you were with me just a moment ago, it's just one of those days. There's a lot of moving pieces. Yes, Alita, thank you so much for joining again. This is the new video. There's just a lot of moving pieces to the story today. And there was so much information to put together. This is probably one of the most complex podcasts I've ever put together. And like I still feel like I haven't quite gotten the story in as much detail as I wanted to. But I think, long story short, those of you, especially if you're on Instagram, I'm sorry, not on Instagram, on Twitter, you would have known that there is a situation going on with the Buzzfeed tabloid writer, because I'm not going to call her a journalist, Ellie Hall. and a story that she wrote regarding Yankee Wally, one of Meghan's trolls, and Samantha Markle. And to be honest with you, when that Buzzfeed article, so she recently did a Buzzfeed article where she talked about doing an investigation into Samantha Markle and Yankee Wally. When I read that article, I side-eyed it straight away because Ellie has always been suspect. She's always been suspect when it comes to Meghan. And I think what she's tried to do, and I'll get into all the details, is play every side of the aisle, and it just hasn't worked. Because at the end of the day, the likes of Yankee Wally and her ilk are trolls. And I think she tried to blindside Christopher Bouzy, and also tried to blindside some of the squad who fell for it. Because that article that she did for BuzzFeed, she didn't even cite Christopher Bouzy or any of his research. It's like Christopher Bouzy did all of the work, and then she tried to make it seem like she did this grand investigation herself. So we're going to get into it all as much as I can today. But I think this just goes to show, and I hope everybody in the squad has learnt today, that when somebody shows us who their true colours are, believe them. And I think that Ellie has tried to just play every side, and you can't do that when there are very, very clear trolls. Okay, thank you everyone so much for rejoining us again. Hi Denise, hi Julia, Carol, hi Andreen, hi. Let's make sure all the usuals are here. April, May, hi Ty. Yes, Jill Stewart, Dancy, Dancy, Dancy. And there are several screenshots of different conversations that I've managed to put together, because what happened was Yankee Wally started screenshot and sharing a lot of the correspondence between herself and Ellie Hall. So there's no honor amongst these now. They're all turning on each other. And I think Christopher Bouzy, in defense of himself, also shared some screenshots of some correspondence. So we're going to get into that. Maggie, anxious to hear the scoop. We're gravy all right. Thank you, Cho. Trying to do my best. It has been very overwhelming today. Yes, Rosa, I couldn't finish reading the article. Towards the end, it became clear that she was using it to abuse Meghan. Ellie Hall used the BuzzFeed platform to abuse Meghan. Absolutely. And it's not the first time. She's accused. She should be fired. She should be, but I don't think she will be. Yeah, Sylvia, so many people in the squad tried to tell Christopher Bouzy not to deal with that woman. So I hope that this time he'll actually listen. She was clearly never she was clearly never like on Meghan's side. Okay. All right, so let's actually start with some positive news though before we get into the drama. So Harry did pop up. He did make an appearance recently. We don't have the full video yet, or at least I haven't seen it. I don't think it's been released, but Merzey Films Afghanistan posted this on their Twitter the other day. It says, last week we had the honor and privilege to speak with Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, about our film, Three Songs for Benazir. Prince Harry's love and dedication to Afghanistan is truly inspiring, and we are so grateful to have had the opportunity to share our story with him. So I'm not sure what the connection is in terms of Harry speaking to these particular filmmakers. We know that Harry did serve 2 tours in Afghanistan, but I'm not sure exactly why he was speaking to these filmmakers and what his connection is to this film. But I'm sure we'll get more details as the days go by. But it's great to see Harry. I haven't seen the full video yet, but hopefully they will release it, and we'll get to hear what he has to say and why he was involved with this project. So that's a bit of good news there. Also, there was a poll by UWI Cave Hill on attitudes to the monarchy in Barbados, and just 15% had favorable views of Prince William compared to 41 um, compared to Harry, 41%, Charles only 12%. If charm offensive is the plan, better send Harry. See visiblecrown.com for poll findings. So it's nice to actually see a poll that isn't YouGov and that isn't biased. And you can just see, I mean, most people probably don't even know who the other royals are. And if you were here yesterday, um, you saw the video that I played when they were going around Billy's asking about, do you know Prince William? Do you know Prince Charles? And a lot of them didn't even know who Prince William was. So you can't, you just can't beat Harry and Meghan with this one. And so that is that. Oh, thank you so much, Charlotte Light and Dark, for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. Happy Monday, darling. Okay. Cheryl, what is the bottom line with these Harry Meghan haters, rat snakes on Royals, tabloid news, etc.? What's their end game? Their end game, and I hate to say it, but it was honestly the truth. I believe they wanted to kill Meghan. I believe they wanted to kill Meghan because how do you come down so hard on a pregnant woman? When you're pregnant as a woman, you're at your most vulnerable, and the bullying got worse when she was pregnant. Meghan came out and talked about her miscarriage. And even after that, and when she came out about her pregnancy with Lily, they were still going on bullying her, even during times when she wasn't seen. So, Marsha, one snake eats the tail of the other, and the other, and the other. The squad won't have to do anything; they'll do it for us. Exactly. And I've said this for the longest time. Like they will eat each other alive because now they're turning on each other. Somebody like Yankee Wally, she's not to be trusted. And I think that Yankee feels a bit scorned. I get the feeling that maybe she was hoping that Ellie would help her keep her channel or something, because they're all very scared of losing their channels. Even for channels like mine, I feel like since the Christopher Bouzy report came out, there have been a lot of issues with monetization, even with pro Meghan channels. And I feel like we're kind of getting somehow dragged or piled into the hater channels as well. So I hope that YouTube sorts that out and can find ways of differentiating between the pro Sussex channels and the hate channels. But if it's been affecting us and we're pro Sussex channels, it's definitely been affecting them. The difference between pro Sussex channels though and hater channels is for the hater channels is actually their day job. So it's not really a big difference to me if I lose this platform, whereas for them it's their it's their main bread and butter. And many of the hater channels have actually said this. If they lose this, they're pretty much losing all of their income. So on to the issue at hand. I'm going to start with the okay, we'll start with Christopher Bouzy's we'll start with Christopher Bouzy's thread first. Oh, so this was Christopher Bouzy's thread that he put on Twitter, and he said, hang on a minute. Okay, he said last night one of Ellie's sources, so this is Ellie, the Buzzfeed journalist, one of Ellie's sources was so disturbed by the WhatsApp messages, she asked me to make her DMs public. So I'm gonna get into the WhatsApp messages in a moment. But he goes on to say, not only did Ellie lie to another source, but she was trying to persuade her source to share her article and tell people I wasn't involved in the reporting. So I think by her source, she's talking about Yankee Wally here, because she was playing both sides of the aisle. So Ellie was collaborating with Christopher Bouzy while talking to Yankee Wally, and I think trying to make Yankee Wally believe that she wasn't talking to Christopher Bouzy. So Christopher goes on to say in his next tweet, let me be clear here. A journalist casually tried to enlist the source to conduct a disinformation campaign against another source. Ellie didn't care about the reputational damage that she would cause bots and Tanel and me. And she didn't care about the sacrifices I made. Um, okay, so he screen printed something that says, "This is a personal request, but when you share this amongst everyone, could you make a point to mention that neither Christopher Bouzy nor Bot Sentinel are mentioned in it, and the story is not based on anything they have reported?" So I think this kind of speaks to the fact that in Ellie's article, Bot Sentinel weren't even mentioned. So he goes on to say, "I don't expect an apology from Ellie Hall or BuzzFeed News. So I will leave a few screenshots here to prove Ellie lied to her sources and everyone else. I am against publishing private messages, but Ellie Hall didn't correct the record. I have no choice, I have no choice but to do it for her." So these are some of the messages. By the way, I'm kind of reading some of these for the first time as well because I haven't really had time to sit down and digest them all. So please forgive me if I'm a bit choppy and all over the place. So the messages, some of the messages read, they're terrified of losing their YouTube income. So I guess that's referring to the um yes, to the trolls. The next message says, "Wait, Taz, Wally all have YouTube accounts. According to Taz, Moki Meg, and Wally, a combined 60 million plus views. What the effing S? Yeah, that is not including the others. So here is a story here for you. Just a better story would be finding out someone significant was funding some of this." Now, this is something that we've said for a very long time. Is there somebody else behind these trolls? And then the next message says, "Yeah, I feel like the best way forward here is y'all do your thing and then get the info to me. And then I go from there in terms of doing reach outs, interviews, and using subscription, whatever tools I have access to in order to see if I can find anything else." The next message from Ellie Hall says, "Prepping for Wally interview. Any other questions you're particularly keen to have the answer to? Chances are you may have something I've forgotten. This is off the record. Just want to ask, since you know all about this world now, LOL." So there, she's referring to the fact that she was prepping for the BuzzFeed interview with Yankee Wally. And I guess when she says, "Since you know all about this world now," she's talking about the whole Sussex Squad royal world. And then Christopher Bouzy says, "Thanks for asking." And then Ellie goes on to say, "It's sort of the practice in situations like this. You ask for other interviews and sources if they have questions for any other interviews they'd like answered, since most people you talk to for a story are connected in some way. And then the story comes out and all is revealed, LOL." And then the next message is, "I see. Sorry, I was on a call. Why is she still attacking Meghan, even though she no longer has any royal duties and doesn't live in the UK? What is the end game? Would she share her 2021 earnings?" So this is speaking about Yankee Wally. And then there's another set of screenshots of Ellie Hall's email to Christopher Bouzy saying, "Hi, Christopher, I cannot thank you enough. I'm talking to Samantha, as in Samantha Markle, today, hopefully, but I know that someone else is on it and the story is going up Monday at the latest. Thank you so much. Best, and you'll be the first person to whom I will send the story, Ellie." And then there's also other messages saying, "Oh man, I purposely tweeted out the YouTube figures, was put pressure on YW. Don't know what that is." Um, okay, so the other text messages is just talking about Newsweek, and I don't think there's anything really significant there. But you can see that there was clearly correspondence between her and Christopher, and then she went on to pretty much erase Christopher from her own article. But I think where it gets more interesting is the screenshots that Yankee Wally published. So what I'm going to go through now, actually, before I go through, I'm going to go to your comments. But what I'm going to go through next is screenshots between Yankee Wally and Ellie Hall. If any of that seemed confusing, please do ask questions and we'll try and figure out everything together because even I'm a little bit confused. Okay, so let's get through. Yeah, Andreen, in response to the earlier comment that I made, they wanted Meghan to be a mental issue. They wanted to destroy her mentally. That's why they didn't get her any help. And yes, Harry did say they're not going to stop until she's dead. He said it with his own mouth. Joe blogs, what gets me is that the royal family stood back and let it happen and still expect people to believe that they welcome Meghan. Yeah, they never welcomed her. Mm. And isn't it just like some kind of karma that all of this is happening during the We're Not a Racist Family tour? And they just seem absolutely silent about this. This is why I'm so convinced that Kensington Palace or Clarence House or just a firm in general is involved with these trolls somehow. Rosa, I think YouTube timing to ban the Yankee Wally channel is what messed up Ellie Hall. YouTube then released texts to revenge. Yeah. Sylvia, I feel that Harry knows exactly where the main sources are coming from that is hating on Meghan. Yeah, and now that Yankee Wally has proven to be a loose cannon, it wouldn't surprise me if she just goes completely rogue and just outs everyone and everything. Maggie, YouTube didn't do anything to haters channels for 6 good years by attacking the Sussexes. Now they're exposed. YouTube wants to face Scotties and fans of the Sussexes. Double standards. They don't want to face us. Yeah, Lynn, when you play both sides, you'll get knocked by either side. Especially when one of those sides are just hating trolls. Yeah, Rosa. Ellie was I know when I say she was playing both sides, I mean I don't think I just mean she was trying to she was trying to like pull information from both sides. So she was like pulling the wool over the eyes of both sides. I think it's going to become clear as I read her messages with Yankee Wally. Sylvia, Christopher Bouzy said on a call that someone with big money is sponsoring the hate channels. It's got to be. I mean, it's going to be the absolute scandal of the century if it comes out that the firm were basically paying troll accounts. Even with this Jamaica tour, I'm going to show you a tweet in a second. Bot Sentinel actually found bots tweeting about the Caribbean tour. So not only is there some weird bot activity going on in terms of hater accounts hating on Harry and Meghan, particularly Meghan, there's also bot accounts trying to boost the Caribbean tour that nobody really seems to be interested in at the moment. Um, Purse phones. Some bloggers shouldn't even be considered journalists. If you have no moral foundation, then you should at least take an ethics class to know how to treat sources. Investigative journalists no longer exist. Amen to that. Try Five Girls. Why would Ellie act like she didn't know these people, didn't have YouTube channels? She'd been watching the hate videos for years and even wrote about it. Yeah. I mean, she has a little bit of a shady past anyway. She's been known to um, kind of write things that weren't exactly true. Christopher Bouzy approached this whole situation with a lot of naivety about how low the royal rodents are willing to go to print a story. Yeah, despite the fact that the squad tried to warn him many, many times. Um, okay, all right, let me just. Somebody needs to advise YM to write a tell-all book. Who's YM? Yankee Wally. Well, that might be the only way that she can make money after this. All right, I'm gonna have to skip some of your comments, I'm afraid. Just so we can get to the text. Yes, Joe Blogs, this is the beginning of the end. Can you imagine? Social media will be the end of the on-royal mafia. Anyway, so onto the text messages. So these are between, there's quite a few of them, so please bear with me. These are between Yankee Wally and Ellie Hall, and Yankee Wally herself was screenshotted these and posted them on Getter. So it starts with Ellie. This is Sadie, the Welsh YouTuber formerly known as Yankee Wally. Is this um sorry, it says, "Hi, is this Sadie, the Welsh YouTuber formerly known as Yankee Wally? This is Ellie. I just sent you an email, but this is my real phone number, and I wanted to use it to talk to you and message you as a gesture of good faith, since you have trusted me with your number." Yankee Wally says, "Yes, I'm here. We'll fancy you managing to connect USA to UK via WhatsApp. That's clever, your number." She then goes on to say, "Hello, yes, WhatsApp is the best way for me to talk to sources in the UK and reach out to palace press officers for comment. Hmm. Can I give you a call in 15 minutes? Just finish my other call. Of course, I want to talk to you. I just need to take my pup outside first. Um, First call went longer than expected." Okay, so that's that. Then some of these might not be in order, by the way, because there were just so many. But I feel like you can kind of get the context from each message. So in another message, she says, "Oh goodness, well obviously won't work. No worries at all." Um, okay, so she's just kind of asking Yankee Wally, just checking in. "I hope you're healing up and feeling well. I'm very keen to talk to you for my story." The next one, she goes on to say, um, oh, so in the middle one, you can see that Ellie Hall says, "Sadie, I give you my word that I haven't spoken to Christopher Bouzy." So going back to the previous set of screenshots that I read out, we know that that is a lie. But this is what she's saying to Yankee Wally, that she hasn't spoken to Christopher Bouzy. So she was lying. So she says, "I haven't spoken to Christopher Bouzy in months. He was a source for my stories in November. Like I told you in our conversation, he messaged me a few months back about why I didn't write about his report about you. And I mentioned that the only thing from the report that interested me was Samantha's connection. Maybe he saw your video." In the next message, she goes, "Please do not share this on your channel. I have not shared what you asked me not to share. My head of security will be mad at me for sending you this. But I asked my parents to bring pictures of our family trip to Wales when they came to visit. Here's me and my brother years ago. I know you don't trust me, and I know your viewers don't, but I'm acting in good faith with everything I do." So she's trying to basically gain her trust there, talking about her family. Got another set of messages here where she okay, so she's talking about Scobie. Um, I think so I think that the green messages are the green messages Yankee Wally's messages? But anyway, in one of the messages, one of them says, "Just thought of something about people calling me racist. Scobie is half Persian. His father is Scottish, mother Persian. He used to live in Cardiff. My son-in-law is full-blooded Persian, and I never even noticed or realized I'm not a racist." So it's just that typical. I know someone from this country, so I definitely can't be racist. Um, I had that one black friend, so I'm not racist. Anyway, she goes on to say, "I'm very cross about the racial slurs directed at me, Ellie." Oh, so that must be Yankee Wally, I guess. And then another message says, "Like I said in our conversation, I think the fact that the people in the US and UK have very different standards and ideas about what's racist and what's not. This isn't a perfect example at all, but I sort of see it as the fact that the word C word is such a horrible thing to call someone in the U. Okay, so they're just having a conversation there. Hmm. And then in the middle one, they're also having a conversation. Oh, so that's the thread. Sorry, the middle one is basically the thread from the first screenshot. And then in the last screenshot, um, she says, "Yes, I'm here. We'll fancy you managing to connect USA to UK via WhatsApp." Um, hmm. So she says, "I am keen to set the record straight, but rather reluctant to stoke Boozy up for another attack." Hmm. And then the text message goes on to say, "Hello, hello. Yes, WhatsApp is the best way for me to talk to sources." Okay, so sorry. I think these are kind of continuations of the screenshots from the last slide. Anyway, let's go on to the next set. So in this set of messages, um, so somebody says, hmm, sorry, just give me a second, guys. Okay, so somebody on Twitter said Ellie Hall is in contact with Buckingham Palace. Do they know she's Sussex Squad? She's not Sussex Squad. Someone needs to send this pic to Kensington Palace press office. I'm not on Twitter, so please can someone warn KP, that's Kensington Palace, that they've got an enemy in their camp. So does that? So is this person saying that Ellie is close to Kensington Palace? Thank you in advance. Send them anything else you think is important from their WhatsApp. Oh, sorry, that person who's making that comment, that is Yankee Wally. So she is saying that. So Yankee Wally is saying that Ellie Hall is in contact with Buckingham Palace. Well, that's what she's claiming. I wonder how she'd know that if that's true. Hmm. See, this is what convinces me that these trolls have been in contact with Kensington Palace. Hmm. Okay, anyway. Um, the messages go on to say, I saw on Twitter that you made a video today, so I clicked and I just wanted to say you didn't bore me. If I was talking fast, it was because I was a little nervous to talk to you because you have been such a prominent figure in the online Megxit world for years now. Please know that I wasn't trying to be rude when I ended our call quickly. I had to answer for the Palace comms person because I'd called them requesting comment on something. So that's Ellie Hall talking to Yankee Wally. And then in the next set of messages, it goes on to say, I never use the F word if it can help. Swearing is a loser's language. Glad you watched the video. Nobody knows it was you, but Meghan did use a surrogate. Don't ask me how I know, but I most certainly am 100% certain. If they try suing me, I'll be sure to bring the surrogacy to the summons by way of reply, countersue. That will sort it out once and for all. Meghan Markle will have to provide proof. I'm glad Cardi B won. So she's talking about the Cardi B and Tasha K case. This is something completely different. Meghan Markle has the British royal family over a barrel. A public person has to ask the tough questions. That's me, off to a dentist now. So that's Yankee Wally talking in that middle message in green. This whole thing about Meghan, being a surrogate, like who cares? Who cares? What does it matter that whether or not Meghan uses a surrogate or not? That's her private business. How is that the worst thing you can come up with about Meghan? Anyway, Ellie Hall goes on to say in the next set of messages, maybe he saw your video, leaped to the wrong conclusion. I don't know who she's talking about there. I am not lying to you. I sit on my puppy Phoebe. It's my 33rd birthday and I'm with my family. I think Bouzy saw your video and came to the incorrect conclusion. He has nothing to do with this story. And then Yankee Wally goes on to wish Ellie a happy birthday. I hope, and then Yankee Wally also says, I hope you have a soaring career and a joyous life. You are so young. Okay. So I'm very sorry that was very choppy and all over the place, but I hope you got from all of that mess that they were definitely in correspondence and Ellie tried to make it seem like she was not corresponding with Christopher Bouzy. I hope you just understood that at least. Okay, let's get to your comments. Joyce, this is why the royal family and royal rota are afraid of Harry's memoirs because they know Harry knows everything and who is involved. Of course, because there's no way that the the royal family aren't involved in this somehow. Okay. Roni, I just got an alert that William Kate venture into the Belize jungle. I hope it's wrong. I hope she gets lost there. Oh dear. Joe blogs. I don't know why camel toe keeps running across my mind. I find it odd that she has gone so quiet of late. So do I, Joe. So do I. Don't you just think it's so weird? Don't you just think it's so weird? I'm telling you that they're all scared of something. Anytime they go quiet, something's weird. Something weird's going on. I'm telling you. Roy and Nika, they've all just gone super quiet for some reason. But Camilla Tomini in particular, that one's making my nose itch. Church Nelly, all roads lead to Kensington Palace. I think they will eventually. Yes, Christopher Boozy is a great equalizer, but I just hope that he actually listens to the Sussex squad this time. All right, Sylvia, Ellie said in one of her tweets that she has communication with the palace. I'd be interested to know to what level that communication is. C-Mac, wait. So am I understanding Yankee Wally is admitting she's in contact with Buckingham Palace? Only way she would try to warn them is if they are collaborating. Well, she said, okay, let's go back to that message. She says, no, she says Ellie Hall is in contact with Buckingham Palace. Do they know she is Sussex Squad? Someone needs to send this pic to Kensington Palace press office. I'm not on Twitter, so please can someone warn Kensington Palace that they've got an enemy in their camp? Thank you in advance. Send them anything else you think would be important from her WhatsApp. Hmm. So that doesn't automatically say that she is in contact. She's saying, can someone get in contact with them? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Andrew and Yankee Wally was getting info from Samantha Markle. Well, I mean, if this whole thing about the surrogate, I mean, this in a way, it does kind of tie into this whole court case with Samantha Markle, and her basically just trying to use this as a way of trying to basically drag Meghan into court to talk about her personal and private life, even though it's completely and utterly irrelevant. Yeah, Emerald, lots of people use surrogates. What's the big deal? Like, I know some people are against using surrogates, but like it's still a non-story. It's still a private matter, and it's definitely I don't believe it's true at all. Lynn, there's a method to Boozy's madness. Expose everybody. Samantha started that rumor about Meghan. Yeah, yeah, Rosa. They want to go to court to get Meghan's medical records, DNA, and proof of birth. It's not. Do you know what? It's not that they want proof because they know that Meghan never used a surrogate. They just want a situation to try and drag Meghan into court so they can have their circus show trial that they didn't get in that situation with Meghan and Thomas Markle's letter. Lydia, if she has used a surrogate, the children will be born of body and thus not eligible for titles and it's put on the line of succession. Oh, so do you? Oh, okay. So do you think that's why they've made such a deal out of this then, Lydia? That's a very good point. That's actually a very good point. And I think it also then just speaks even further then to how just vile this institution is. Because say you had a royal woman that couldn't have a child, And say that royal woman wanted to adopt, you know? It's just gross. Ruth, I wish Meghan would sue. The liars don't realize that Meghan wouldn't have to prove anything. The liars would have to prove their claims, which they can't, of course, since they're liars. Yeah. But Meghan has to pick her battles very carefully because it's not just about, oh, let's go and sue everybody because they're liars. Yes, they are liars, but she also has to protect her mental health. So I think she's picking her battles carefully and waiting until her lawyers give her the green light. So let's try and get through your comments before we move on to the next thing. Yeah, Susie Q, these people are just devilish. It's just devilish, to be honest. Yes, Cheryl, what a tangled web we weave. And I feel like this is just the surface and just the beginning. Joe blogs, something is definitely going down. I have a feeling we're going to start seeing empathy for Meghan from certain sectors of the British media and royal rodents. I feel like there's a big scoop coming. Defo, yeah, Joe blogs. I can feel it, right? You can feel it too. Something's going on. I think that's why people like Camilla Tominey are being so silent because something's coming and they don't want to be in the firing line when it does come out. And also Jason Knopf also. We haven't forgotten about you, sir. Karma's coming for you also. 25 girls. Ellie said this. I had to answer the call from the palace communications person because I'd called them requesting commenting on something for another story. I very much want to talk to you again. Yeah. Yeah, she needs to work on her journalistic integrity. Okay, let's just move on to the next thing. Um, Deborah, Megan's legal team probably has everyone linked to Scammy. This is a diversion tactic, only it's not going to work. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Um, the next thing that I wanted to just okay, before we do move on to the next thing. Um, so Ellie has now decided that she's going to go disappear for a little bit because she's off this coming week. She says she's saying that she got death threats. I saw some of the threats, and the ones that I saw look like they were from Yankee Wally fans. They were not from squaddies at all because I just don't think that squaddies are bothered with her like that. And as one person said, just following up from what's happened, that BuzzFeed can do one of three things. They can either come to her defense and condone her journalistic practices, condone her actions and apologize to Christopher Bouzy, or just radio silence from BuzzFeed and they ignore it. Um, I think that BuzzFeed are probably going to take the silence route because let's be honest, BuzzFeed do like the drama. That's the type of platform they are. So yeah, that's okay. Um Oh, and I just also wanted to mention, going back to just who Ellie is as a person. So this is a tweet that she tweeted back in November 2021, around the time that Meghan did the Ellen DeGeneres interview. And she said, since Harry and Meghan now have 100% control of their brand publicity, this interview is a choice. No matter what you think of the validity of the claims, Meghan, like Ellen, has been accused of bullying, leading to a toxic workplace. Why do you think the Ellen show is ending? Now, anyone with a single brain cell knows that those bullying claims that the palace made against Meghan were untrue. And to this date, they have never produced any evidence. The fact that those bullying claims came out a week before the Oprah interview should have told you that they were not true. Also, the fact that Meghan was in Hollywood for how many years and not a single person accused her of bullying? Not a single person. In fact, Meghan only became the big bad wolf when she married into the unroyal mafia. So you should have known, Ellie Hall, that the bullying claims were false. So this is why she has always been suspect. And I feel like um, more is going to come out about Ellie Hall and her involvement with these trolls. She's really just um, she's dug herself a hole. So that is that. On to the actually wait a minute. Before we get onto the We Are Not a Racist Family tour, I think it I did see this come up on my Twitter feed, and I think this really just speaks to why these trolls are so relentless. So here you can see two screenshots from somebody's channel. Now um on the one side you can see screenshots of various videos to do with Harry, Meghan, and the members of the royal family. Um, and you can see just tens of thousands of views, tens of thousands of views. And then somewhere along the line, or more recently, she's gone from kind of being anti Harry and Meghan to just normal kind of videos on makeup and skincare routine. And the video views are like 1,000, 2,000 at the most. So this person, it would appear, just has made the right decision, doesn't want the heat anymore, and is coming off the Meghan Markle hater train. But this is why Meghan has become such a target for hate, because of um the amount of money and clicks and views that hate brings in. And I also saw this screenshot of two different stories that Richard Eden, one of the royal rodent rats, put out. And you can just see the difference in engagement. One talking about Dame Joanne Collins, only 13 comments and 85 likes. The other talking about him talking about Meghan and saying that maybe Meghan deserves an Oscar for her own performance in the Oprah interview, just completely pathetic. Over 300 comments and 1,000 likes. And you know that those are mostly people that don't even like Harry and Meghan. This is why I say the Harry and Meghan haters, Harry and Meghan live rent free in their minds. Like for Harry and Meghan, fact, like even for me, guys and dolls, I run this podcast. I still have a life. I still do things. I'm not, you know, chasing stories of celebrities who I don't like. Oi. Okay. Hello, J Law. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, everybody. If you're joining us, hit the thumbs up button. Cho, they're scared because screenshots never lie, and there are several out there to contend with. What exactly do they want? Take Harry to theirs after Meghan. Um, yeah, well, there's all the evidence is just coming out now. There's no honor amongst rats and thieves. Deborah, Ellie is going to get scorched and linked, um, and likened to the derangers who are going to get scorched. Christopher Boozy needs to listen to squaddies who have known this nutjob Ellie was a troll. Yeah. Sorry if the screen is a little bit blurry for you guys and dolls. I try to read out the writing when I can. And of course, nobody in the British press is talking about any of this. No one. Oh, by the way, yes, actually, that's a very good point, Church Nelly. If your screen is blurry, there should be an option for you on YouTube to increase the quality. So have a look at your YouTube screen. There should be like a little cog somewhere that you can just click and change the quality. Okay. All right. So on to finally onto the we're on to racist family tour. So this was a tweet from Omid today. As the Cambridge's time in Belize closes with punta dancing and Maya ruins, the couple face new controversy in Jamaica. A protest calling for slavery reparations is set to take place in Kingston just as they land there tomorrow. And I'm not going to show the video of William dancing. If William dancing and shaking that thing around. If you want to go see that video and find that video and do that to your eyes, then please do go ahead. You can see how thrilled William looks to be there. Catherine grinning and grinning as usual. But so far it's it's not been great. Pretty much protests before they went, and also journalists on the ground, local journalists, complaining that they have not been able to speak to the couple, and it's all been incredibly controlled, very, very controlled. There haven't been huge crowds anywhere. I think they've tried to avoid crowds this time, um, just in case there are protests, and it's all just been very closed off, small events. And onto the protest with Jamaica. Yes, there is. Oh, okay, yes. This was the poster. Um, oh, sorry. There's an organization that's written a letter with 60 reasons to apologize and make reparations for Jamaica. So I'm not going to read all 60 of the reasons, but if you want to go on Twitter, I think you can probably guess what some of the reasons are. But this is linked to the protest that's going to happen and meet William and Catherine. I don't know how big that protest is going to be. It's going to be very interesting to see how big the protest is, where it's going to be, whether or not they manage to kind of control the crowds, how big the crowds are. But also, as I mentioned earlier, Bots and Tanel managed to identify 68 tweets mentioning hashtag Royal Caribbean Tour that were tweeted by inauthentic accounts. So I do believe that there is some kind of bot activity that's going on Twitter where they're trying to prop up this tour and try and make it seem more popular than what it is. But coverage so far has been very dim. And now you've got a whole protest going on. Benjamin, was this the first time they've been recorded dancing? If so, they're copying Harry and Meghan. It's not the first time they've been recorded dancing, but um, I believe it's the first time that I've seen like William literally like holding someone's hands and dancing the way he was, like similar to Harry and Meghan on the South Africa tour. So if you look at some of their last tours, it's just kind of like them standing in the middle and dancing along with the movements. Um, but I've never literally like, seen William like holding someone's hand and twirling around. I think at one point he kind of like wanted to stop and then she grabs him again and he's like all wiping his brow and sweating. It was really funny. Yeah, their faces just say it all. Drink. He's got hand sanitizer in his back pocket. Go look for the videos online. Do you guys actually want me to show you the video tomorrow? I haven't got it on me now. It was quite funny. And it was like William dancing. Well, Kate was dancing as well, but she wasn't holding anyone's hand. She was just kind of like on the other side, and like all the cameras were just focused on William. Uh, Lydia. Oh, he must have washed his hands like 20 times. Like bathed himself in bleach. Oh gosh. Like the fact that this is what people think about what William thinks of people of color. Yes, Sharpie, underwhelming and useless tour. Underwhelming and useless tour when the British people um need attention right now. And I actually posted about this on Twitter the other day, and I said this was the time that the British royal family had the chance to prove that they are worth what we pay for, to prove that they care about the British people, and to really bring the charity home. Instead, they're running around Caribbean islands trying to hang on to countries that don't want them. They don't want them. They're going where they're not wanted when their country needs them. Unfortunately, the squaddies are getting messier by the minute. Well, so are the unroyal mafia. It's rubbing off on us. Yeah, Oreo. I feel like they had them dancing because they don't want them to make a speech. Yes, actually, they were dancing. You can go look for the videos. So say Harry and Meghan's attorneys are waiting for the so-called balloon report. We're all waiting for that balloon report. That's never going to come. Meghan's attorney has already said it was not true. Meghan's attorneys will hit the royal family very hard. Yeah. Harry and Meghan aren't playing anymore. Melita, does Ellie have proof that Meghan is a surrogate? No. Nobody has proof because it's not true. It was just a story that they came up with to belittle Meghan, and also there was that crazy woman that wanted to go to New York and stab Meghan in the belly. It's just so disgusting. They always do this to black women's bodies, and I just can't wait for them to get their karma. To be honest, because it's just disgusting what they've done. And on that, I actually just wanted to move on to something else. But according to this Twitter commentator, they're claiming that in the coming weeks, months, years, the British media will publish a report or documentary about social media trials against the women of the Royal Windsor. Now, I don't know where this person's getting the information from. It could just be like, you know, someone spouting their opinion. However, I do believe that the British media probably will do this. Not only do I believe that they will do this, they will completely and utterly ignore the part that they played in bullying Meghan, and try and spin this all. And I definitely do think that they are going to try to come for the squad, and they are going to try to make it look like, because the squad is so powerful at this point that we're ruining their narrative. It wouldn't surprise me if they did try and do something that comes for the squad, and they'll do that thing where they try to make it seem neutral, but really it's just an attack on the squad. So it is something that I'm conscious of, but to that I just say that if they want to come out with something, just bring it on, because whatever they do always goes back to slap them in the face. More recently, um, I'm sure you have probably all seen that story about Simon Rex, the way they tried to pay him off to lie about Meghan. And that story is really, really doing the rounds more recently. And um, even after they weren't able to pay him off, because he said no, they still came up with these stupid fake stories about, Meghan Markle dumped me over my garlic breath, says porn star. Meghan Markle's porn star ex Simon Rex and lovers should rather forget. I mean, there was absolutely no story here. It's just like they pull you in with the headline, but there's absolutely no story. And Simon Rex never said anything about Meghan. He didn't take the 70K that they offered him to lie, but they still posted two fake headlines. There is also a psychologist called Kerry Danes who says that she was asked by various media outlets to write and contribute articles discussing Meghan and accusing her of manipulative and coercive control, exploiting Harry's mental health struggles. She said no. And also Dr. Helen Rodwell, who's also a clinical psychologist, who said that she had media requests too, and she also said no. Because absolutely no one who spent how many years in school getting their doctorate is going to throw away their entire career just because of a tabloid newspaper offering you a little bit of money. So bravo to everybody who's kept their integrity and who hasn't lied on Meghan, because everybody who has is getting their comeuppance and their karma. Yes, this is us right now, looking at everybody getting their comeuppance and their karma. Yes, Terry, they can't move their hips like Harry and Meghan. We've all seen Harry dance. Certainly, squads are becoming more and more ratchet. Yes, and we're proud of it. Classy, bougie, ratchet. We savage. Yeah, and Abby, they wanted one clip for the books like Harry and Meghan. They wanted that one clip of William dancing. I wonder how long he practiced that. He must have had a really cold shower afterwards. Yes, Joe Blogs, you can't fake authenticity and the truth will set you free. Yes, Patricia, God only knows what will come out of William's mouth if you let him speak. I feel like they're definitely trying to avoid speaking. Might have a few very carefully worded speeches here and there, but they don't want him to speak off the cuff, or Catherine. Catherine, you don't want to see the foolish mess. You don't want to see it. Are you sure? Are you sure, Catherine? I might just play it tomorrow just to troll you all. It's a pretty hilarious clip, guys. I mean, William was really he was really trying to take Shakira's crown with his moves. Um, yeah, Sharon, William might tell the people of Belize that they're responsible for climate change. All the Belizeans having all them babies, like the Africans having all them babies and just like ruining the planet, right? Yeah, cookies and cream. The level of depravity of that on royal mafia. They tried to delegitimize the Sussex's children. There was the whole drama with the Archie's birth certificate. Iskabar, you would think that they are dancing forward, but their steps are backwards. Yeah. Joe Blogs, here's the thing. We changed the rules to prevent Archie and Lily getting titles, and then we get our studios to put out this story that Meghan used a surrogate, create doubt, and then bingo. Yeah, but only the idiots believe it at this point. The thing is, all of this is just helping Harry and Meghan's lawyers. So, as nasty as they are, I want them to continue because all they're doing is just creating a case for Harry and Meghan to go after them. So please do to the trolls, continue. You're just helping shillings. Ah. Um, Tanya, the squad kept receipts and records. You can't change facts 70 years from now. Yeah. I mean, all of these screenshots that I keep to make slides, I'm keeping them also in a file. And I know other squaddies are as well. I mean, people like Tina and Michelle, they've got screenshots going back 4 or 5 years, like well before I was in the squad. It's so funny. Like I'll be on Twitter and somebody will tweet something like, "Oh, does anybody have this video of when this so and so journalist said this, or when this royal rodent said this?" And someone will always have the receipt there to post. We're ready. Thank you, Wilson. Today has been a very difficult podcast, kind of all over the place, but we made it through. I feel like even though I was utterly awful reading those messages, everybody kind of got the gist of what was going on, right? Virginia, I think Meghan might have Christopher on her Spotify podcast. Who knows? Who knows? Pairs for phones. The monarchy will not be relevant in the next 5 to 10 years, so I'm trying my best to just sip my tea and avoid getting triggered. Yes. I think people are finally starting to realize that this family has just been a burden on the British people, and they're just not needed. Britain is 65 million people strong. It has a rich history, um, independent of the royals, and the royals don't need to be put at the center of who we are as British people. All right, so what else did I want to mention? Yeah, there was this that I saw that popped up. So this is uh, William and Catherine arriving for their Belize Caribbean tour, and there was a news outlet that put Prince Harry and Kate arrived to Belize. I don't know if they did this on accident or on purpose so that we would start sharing it, but that was interesting. If it was by accident, that was really funny. Um, but I feel like news outlets from around the world now, I feel like everybody kind of knows about the squad. And it wouldn't surprise me if they just did this on purpose just to get attention. But there was that. And what else was there? Oh yes, the Queen is now selling her own brand of dish soap. So if you want to be able to wash dishes like the way the royal servants wash dishes in the palace, you can now buy a dish soap. I am actually wondering if there is going to be a push to get the royals to have more private projects because they could be lining up to either they could be lining up to a situation where they get off the taxpayers' purse strings, or they know that sooner or later the British taxpayer is going to say you have to be cut from our purse strings, and they now are trying to legitimize the idea of them making wealth privately in the way that Harry and Meghan now do. Because all of this time it's been Harry and Meghan are greedy, Harry and Meghan are using their titles to make private wealth. Well, they can if they want to. They're no longer working royals. And I think more and more people are now asking, well, why do we have to pay for the royal family? So I've been seeing more of this stuff pop up, and I wonder if it is kind of just leading to eventually either the royal family themselves or by force being cut from the British taxpayers' purse strings. So that was interesting. So that was pretty much all I had to say. I'll just get through your comments now, and thank you so much, all of you, for coming. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning, and thank you also for bearing with me because all of these different moving parts of the puzzle, I didn't really have time to sit down and digest everything. I was kind of just putting it out and reading it all with you. But thank you for bearing with me. And that will be, yeah, that'll be all for today. We'll just get through the comments and call it a day. Happy Monday, everyone. April, May, they've already began using squad member screen names to post negative comments about Meghan. They did that to me twice that I know of. Yeah, this also happened to a couple of other squaddies. It happened to Lydia Washington. There was a fake account that was made of her, and she was posting nasty comments on videos. So yeah, if you do see someone who has a name that's irregular and they're randomly posting nasty comments, just stop and look at whether or not their avatar is the same as what it usually is, or just look and see how their name it could be written differently because it could be a fake account posing as a squaddy. Yes, money in a rich man's world is what they rely on and use Gullible to help with the smears. I can't even imagine like what goes through the head of someone who follows someone like Yankee Wally. It's like you just want to be a hater. You want to be a hater because all it is lies. You know, I don't sit here and make up good things about Harry and Meghan just because I'm a fan. I just report on what they do. So how anybody can sit there and make up lies and hateful things just beyond me. By the way, guys, I just thought I should let you know that I had the most delicious carrot cake today. It was truly magnificent. Hello. Um, okay, Marsha, the harder they come after the squad, the harder the squad will hit back. I'm waiting for the squad's name as defenders of Meghan and Harry to hit the mainstream media. Well, we have actually. I don't have the screenshot with me, but somebody collated all of the headlines about us so far. But I still feel like we're gonna have our moments, like our big moment. That hasn't come yet, but we have gotten some recognition. Andrine, did you see William went to put his hands on Kate's back and his whole hand went straight down? Oh gosh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, there's definitely something going on between those two. I just feel sorry for the kids. That's all I have to say. I feel sorry for the kids. They didn't choose this, and they're at the center of this. And I hope that those children are going to have some kind of protective shield around them. But knowing the way the firm is, that probably won't be the case. Um, but I do hope that what Harry and Meghan have done will open a door for the Cambridge children to free themselves when the time is right. Um, Black Queen, we'll be ready for them. Let's get Christopher Bouzy and Omid involved. Let's get all the receipts of their tone deaf hypocrisy on how they used to drag the unroyal women before Meghan got there. Do you know, has anybody seen Omid tweeting anything about Christopher Bouzy or his reports? I don't know if I have. Could somebody let us know if you're paying that close of attention? Because I don't even think that Omid tweeted about it. Not that I can remember. Yes, Pendizzy sipping my tea, my wine, my coffee, my hot chocolate. Joyce, the squad has a royal family in the British tabloids running for cover. If they come after the squad, they have done this for a while. Hashtag where is Camilla Tominey? Like this is where we are now. I'm missing Camilla. Mm. Sylvia. They played that crazy dancing on our morning show. Uh, oh gosh, Marsha, they should let Kate speak to the women of the Caribbean. Maybe she'll say, "I'm your sister too." Oh gosh. Oh, I'm sure they're gonna try and create some kind of sisterly moment. Shudder. Jesus wept. I mean, all of this is going on. They're having a grand old time in the Caribbean, just dancing away. Meanwhile, the grocery prices of British people are going up. Our gas prices are going up. It's just so out of touch. Mm. Rosa, I thought that the story can came out that they would not be seen together when they are out doing things, appearances. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, sweetheart. April, May. Behave. Behave before I put you in timeout. I'm not I'm not even gonna read your comment, but it's on the screen and everybody can see it. That's Megan's man. Behave. Miss Levy, my mum always says practice dancing at home before you go out. These clearly didn't get the memo. No, they did not. Um, yeah, Benjamin, I'm so glad that Megan is sharp. If she wasn't, they would have made mincemeat out of her. Our girl is standing. I admire her tremendously. Yeah. And I feel like that's what Harry saw in her as a woman. He saw her smarts, he saw how sharp she was. Oh, Maggie, changing the quality solved my problem with the blurry screen. Fantastic. So it definitely works. So there you have it, people. If you're having a problem with a blurry screen, just go to the settings on your YouTube video, and you should be able to change it. Okay, we're gonna power through the comments. Joyce, Meghan and Harry will be very careful about their children being around that family. Meghan does not trust those people. Yeah, I think they'll be very, very careful. I mean, how can you ever trust them at all at this point? Brenda Phillips is squaddy forever. Me too. Andrew, I'm telling you, they are on holiday. Well, they're not really doing much, are they? They're doing everything that I guess you would do if you went on holiday to Belize. You'd be dancing with the locals. You'd be making chocolate. I saw like I saw a picture of them rolling chocolate or something. You'd be visiting a farm. They're probably going to go scuba diving and say that it's to do with the environment. Benjamin, does anyone think there is veracity to the rumors that the Queen is not doing as well as they're portraying? I don't have anything solid on that, but the pictures that I have seen of her recently, she is looking quite frail. But I mean, she is old. She just needs to rest. I don't know why they keep dragging her out. Just let her rest. I mean, at this point in his life, Philip wasn't a working royal, so but they need her. They need her, and unfortunately, they're going to use her until the very last day, the very last breath. Because they know that when she's gone and everything has to fall on Charles, um, that's when everything's gonna fall apart. But it's just elderly abuse at this point. She just needs to rest. All right, I'm gonna give someone the last word of the day. Thank you everyone for coming. Mm. Dawn Robertson, it seems as if the Lanebridges tour are going well, unfortunately. I hope the Jamaican give it to them good and proper. Well, I don't think is exactly what they would have wanted it to be. We don't have the classic, rows of natives smiling and waving like back in the day. I think that's what they would have wanted. Um, they wanted that kind of sweet air that Harry and Meghan got on the South African tour, dancing with the natives. There was that beautiful picture of Meghan, kissing a little girl's hand. It was just so pure. Like that's what they're trying to get that they can't get because they're not authentic. Faya, have I missed much? Yeah, you've missed a lot, but don't worry. You can watch the replay. Um, Cecilia, loved what I hear. We'll catch the rest on replay. How long have the British people been in a mental brainwash to dish out 80 million a year? Yeah. I mean, I can never understand like why is it that people can't um I mean, I guess I do kind of understand it, but for me, as someone who's intercultural, um, I how do I put this? Like, I don't think that you have to be a monarchist to be proud to be British. I'm proud of the British side of my identity, having grown up here, but I'm not a monarchist, and I don't understand how people can't see that those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Um, I don't know. I hope we'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. Joyce, I don't think it's going as they wanted. There are so many memorable photos and speeches that Harry and Meghan did on their tours, and they just have not had that on this tour. Yeah, yeah. Okay, who's going to get the last word? Who is going to get the last word? I'll give it to you, Wilson. Lovely rest of your day, squaddies. 100%. Um, it's been a it's been a long one today, but we got through it. Thank you, everyone, for powering through. And I'm gonna play us out. Thank you so much. We'll see what else comes through during the day. I caught the end of Baron's podcast, and I think he did say that he was gonna do another podcast, maybe later on in the evening. So do check over at his. Maybe there's more stuff that will come out, and he'll go through that, or go through it from a different angle than I did. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, my lovelies. Bye.